My name is Elena. I am 32 years old. I live in a small, quiet apartment in the city. The walls are pale. The air always feels still. Some mornings, I wake to complete silence. No sounds of life. Just the faint hum of the heater. I have been alone for a long time. My life feels empty. The divorce took more than my husband, it took my belief that anyone could stay. I remember the day he left. The echo of his footsteps still haunts the hallway. The rooms felt bigger then, colder. My friends tried to call, but I stopped answering. Talking felt heavy. Work is no better. I go through the motions. Coffee in the morning, emails, quiet dinners alone. Sometimes I watch people in the park from my window. They laugh. They hold hands. I wonder why happiness always passes me by. I carry a small pain every day. It's subtle but persistent. Nights are worse. The darkness feels too wide. I pull the blanket tighter around me. I wish for warmth. Not just the body's warmth. A hand on mine. A voice that stays. I tried living in the rhythm of emptiness. But emptiness is loud. It fills every corner. It whispers reminders of what I lost. Friends drifted away. Family visits are rare. My mother calls sometimes, her voice full of worry. I tell her I am fine. She probably doesn't believe me. I walk through my apartment slowly. The kitchen is empty. The bedroom is cold. The living room holds nothing but a couch and a few scattered books. I stare at them, hoping one day someone will sit and talk. Someone who will not leave. Some nights, I think about leaving. Moving somewhere else. Starting over. But I have no energy. No hope. I sit on the floor near the window and watch the street lights flicker. People pass by. They do not see me. They do not know my story. I feel a quiet sadness that never ends. My heart feels fragile, like glass in the hand of a stranger. I am tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of waiting. Tired of the hollow silence that has become my companion. I do not know if life will ever change. For now, I live with shadows. With memories that ache. With rooms that are too big and nights that are too long. It started on a gray afternoon. I was at the small cafe near my apartment. The one I always avoid, because people feel too close there. I ordered tea and sat by the window. The rain made everything blurry outside. He appeared then. A man about my age. David. He carried a worn-out backpack and a nervous smile. He asked if he could sit at my table. I hesitated. I rarely let strangers near me. My heart said no, but my voice stayed quiet. Sure, I whispered. He didn't say much at first. Just smiled and stared at the rain like me. There was something gentle in his silence. Something that didn't rush. He stirred his coffee slowly. I noticed the small tremble in his hands. I understood that feeling. Do you come here often? He asked finally. His voice was soft. Careful. I shook my head. Not really. He nodded. Me neither. We didn't talk for long. Just small, simple sentences. I didn't expect more. I felt a strange calm. Like he belonged, but not fully. Not yet. I wanted to trust him, but I couldn't. I had been hurt too many times. Over the next few weeks, I saw him again. Sometimes at the same cafe. Sometimes on the street, walking the same path. Always quiet. Always hesitant. He never crowded me. He didn't push. That made it easier. Slowly, I started noticing him more. Noticing the warmth in his eyes. The small kindness in his gestures. One afternoon, he offered me a book he had finished reading. "You might like this," he said. I took it, fingers brushing his. My heart skipped, but I told myself it was nothing. Still, I felt something shift inside me. A tiny hope, fragile as glass. Life had been heavy and gray. But now, there was a hint of light. I didn't know if it would stay. I didn't know if I could let it. But for the first time in a long time, I wanted it to. I felt a question in my chest every time I saw him. Could this person stay? Could I let someone stay? I didn't have the answer. Not yet. Days turned into weeks. I began seeing David more often. Always quietly. Always carefully. He never demanded attention. He simply existed beside me, like a soft shadow. We started with small things. Sharing a bench in the park. Watching the ducks. Sometimes we didn't speak at all. Silence became comfortable. It felt safe. One morning, he brought coffee. "You like it black," he said, remembering something I had said once. I smiled, a little. "Thank you," I whispered. It felt strange. Pleasant. We walked slowly together, talking about small things. The weather. A street musician. A book we both liked. Nothing deep at first. I didn't want to feel too much. I was afraid. "Do you want to come inside?" he asked one rainy day. My apartment felt lonely, too empty. But I nodded. Inside, it was awkward at first. He sat on the couch. I sat across. We didn't speak for a while. Then, he opened the book he had brought. "Remember this?" he asked, pointing to a page. I did. I had laughed at it before. I laughed again. A real laugh. We started cooking together. Simple meals. Pasta, eggs, toast. I noticed how careful he was, how gentle. I realized I looked forward to these small routines. The smell of garlic, the sound of the water boiling, the quiet clinking of plates. Life felt lighter, even if just a little. One evening, we sat on my balcony. The sky was orange. He didn't speak at first. Then he said softly, "I like being here. With you." I wanted to believe him. I nodded, looking at my hands. "I like it too." Small promises formed without words. A look. A hand brushing mine. A shared smile. We didn't say them aloud. But they were there. A fragile hope. Sometimes, he would hold the door for me when I left. Sometimes he would text, just asking if I was okay. I didn't feel the old fear as strongly. Not always. One night, I caught him looking at me. "What?" I asked. He shrugged. "Nothing. Just, glad you let me stay. I felt warmth in my chest. It was dangerous. But it was beautiful. Something real, something human. I didn't know the future. I only knew this, I could trust him. Not fully, but enough. Enough to let a stranger become a small part of my life. Enough to let someone stay, even if my heart trembled. We started sharing little routines. Morning walks. Evening coffees. Quiet laughter. Small talks. Shared silences. Each day built a bridge from my loneliness to something tender. I told him one night, quietly, I don't trust easily. He nodded. I know. I'll wait. And he did. It started slowly. Small silences. Missed messages. A hesitation in his eyes I couldn't read. David didn't call as he used to. He didn't show up for our walks. At first, I told myself it was nothing. People get busy. Life happens. But days passed. Weeks. I waited by the cafe, by the park. He didn't come. I didn't understand. I tried calling. No answer. I tried texting. Only read receipts. I felt a hollow ache I hadn't known since my divorce. The familiar loneliness returned. Only this time, it carried confusion. Fear. Was it me? Did I do something wrong? When he finally appeared, he looked distant. His eyes avoided mine. The warmth I had trusted seemed gone. I'm sorry, he said, quietly. I forgot. Forgot. That single word cut deeper than silence ever could. I remembered the small promises. The quiet looks. The walks. The meals. He had forgotten them. Forgotten me. We sat in the cafe. Neither of us spoke for a long time. The rain tapped on the windows. My chest felt heavy. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to run away. He tried to explain. I didn't mean to. His words trailed off. I nodded. I wanted to believe him, but my heart shook. Trust, I realized, is fragile. Too fragile for a broken promise. He reached for my hand. I pulled it back. The warmth was gone. The room felt cold. The silence between us was loud. For the first time since he came into my life, I felt the fear return. The fear that no one stays. That everyone leaves. That hope is temporary. I didn't know if he would come back. I didn't know if I wanted him to. All I knew was the weight of emptiness settling over me again. He had stayed, then vanished in spirit. I walked home that evening under the gray sky. My hands trembled. My chest ached. The streets were wet. I felt smaller than before. Alone. Even though he was near, he wasn't. And that absence hurt more than the first day we met. I waited by the cafe again. Rain soaked my coat. My hands were trembling. My chest felt too heavy. When he appeared, I froze. He looked tired. His eyes held guilt, but also something I could not reach. I'm here, he said softly. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to reach for him. But my body shook. My legs refused to move. My throat burned with unshed tears. I waited, I whispered. My voice cracked. I waited every day. I thought you cared. His lips moved, but no words came. I could feel the truth in his silence. The cafe felt too small. The rain tapped hard against the windows. My tears mixed with the cold wind blowing through the door. I forgot, he admitted, finally. The words hit me like a stone. My knees gave way. I sank onto the bench. My hands trembled. My vision blurred. I could feel the wetness on my cheeks. Why? I asked. My voice was barely a whisper. My body shook with the force of my heartbreak. I didn't mean to. I got lost in myself, he said. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry louder. I wanted to hold him and push him away at the same time. I felt every small memory shatter. The shared meals. The walks. The quiet nights. Every tender moment had been broken by a forgotten promise. I shook my head. My chest heaved. My hands clutched the edges of the bench as if holding on could stop the pain. He reached for me again. I pulled back instinctively. I could not trust that promise would ever come true. The wind from the open door hit my wet face. I could taste the rain on my lips. My heart felt raw, exposed. I realized then the full weight of what had happened. I had let someone in. I had dared to hope. And now, all that hope was gone, replaced by cold emptiness. I buried my face in my hands. The world blurred. My tears fell freely. My body shook. And for a long moment, I felt utterly alone, even as he sat beside me. Weeks passed. The pain softened, though it never fully disappeared. I stopped waiting. I stopped hoping for him to stay. I learned to be with myself again. To find warmth in small things, morning sunlight, the smell of coffee, the sound of rain on the window. I remembered the moments with David. Not with anger, not with longing. But as a lesson. A reminder that hearts are fragile, and trust is earned slowly. I started walking in the park alone. Watching people, noticing life moving forward. Sometimes I smiled at strangers. Sometimes I talked to someone briefly. Each day felt lighter than the last. I realized healing doesn't come from others. It comes from within. From letting go of what cannot stay. From accepting what was, without losing myself. I still feel the ache of what I lost. But I also feel the quiet strength it gave me. I am not broken. I am learning. I am patient with my own heart. Life is not fully happy, nor fully sad. It is somewhere in between. And that is enough. I close the window at night, listening to the stillness. I breathe slowly. I am here. I am alive. And that is enough.